video, this business about police coming to the house afterwards with details like 2 sergeants, a couple of investigators asking to set up cameras, and then the cops say, no, we never did go back.
It is one of the most bizarre cases, not the most bizarre that I've investigated. You summarize it very well. It starts out with some corroborating evidence. You have a 911 call. You have police taking the family seriously. In fact, I think they would still tell you today that most of them felt they were telling the truth. They seemed legitimately frightened. But when you start digging into it, they start to have some inconsistencies. They told George Knapp, local Vegas reporter, that they had video, which you said, of course, was never mentioned in the beginning. The footprints, you don't think to take, photos of those. And it starts to kind of unravel, and then all of a sudden the family stops responding. Now, the media has descended. They found the location. They're, I'm sure, getting bombarded, and it's natural. Maybe you'd want to go into hiding. But at this point, you'd also hope they'd want to just kind of clear the air once and for all. It's very odd because we've looked at it every angle we possibly can, except for maybe doing voice stress analysis. When you played the 911 tape, I was thinking maybe we should do that too.
I'm a little disconcerted with the report that the family said police came a couple days later and did this whole investigation, and the Metro Vegas police have said, no, we didn't. Can you tell me if you've investigated or reported on or witnessed any other incidents of these strange, X-Files-like incidents where people arrive to investigate that apparently don't exist?
I do think that's kind of, more in the realm of conspiracy. However, they had photos supposedly, and they released photos of the police being there.
Conspiracy.
That should be easy to verify, but our sources are telling us nothing officially. No one officially went out to follow up. And so if it's not them, and they're seeing these SUVs driving around blacked out, it could be other people, media, onlookers, just trying to figure out what's happened. But I would say it's a very unlikely situation that we have like a shadow agency there.
Mark Berry is a retired Las Vegas Metro
shadow
Police
agency,
officer
Men in Black.
who's also been working with Ben on investigating this case. So, Mark, you're the perfect person to ask about this piece that involves the so-called, Metro Vegas Police going to the house days after this crash. A couple of sergeants, a couple of investigators, the family reports, and they didn't exist. The Metro Police are saying we didn't. Do we believe the Metro Police when they say they didn't, or do we think that somebody did show up dressed as them?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Metro's a great organization. Their officers are some of the most finely trained officers in the world. And, they handled it, in my book, they pretty much did what they could as patrol officers. The fact that the family said some sergeants came in afterwards and put up cameras, that's not protocol in any kind of unit within the department. We're not going to do that. Basically, when you show up on scene, once you gain that real estate, you're not going to give it up. So if you need to call in, they're there to look and get to the bottom of it as fast as they can. And they did go out back. They did see some, I guess you could call it evidence, but, I also dove into this a little bit besides talking to the officers involved. I used some of my air assets and were able to look out in the back of the yard and see the circular impressions that they were talking about. And in that backyard, there's a number of trailers, a number of flatbeds, and the circular impressions are very indicative.
You also spent some time staked out. Like, you staked out to see if you could get a read on this family. The family has ghosted everybody. They're not responding to interviewers that they made appointments with. They're not responding to telephone calls. I don't even know if they're in the house anymore. But what was your read when you were parked out front for hours and hours?
Yeah, so I'll admit, I drive a black SUV.
Okay, there you go. We can explain the black SUVs away now.
I do not wear black government-issued sunglasses, so there's a little difference there. I have talked to some of the neighbors. I have been able to confirm noise, the big giant boom that the Ring camera had caught at one part of the valley. But there's some more issues with the backyard. Again, I don't want to discount what they're saying, but the house has been dark. There has been no movement in and out other than onlookers going, by the house real slow, taking pictures. As far as movement in the house itself or in the rear, the backyard, or even in the trailers, it's been dark. And it's been dark for the last few days. So I'm sure that they may have left town. But, I don't know. They may...
So wait,